Yeah, welcome back to the Church of Doom, brothers and sisters. Happy Wednesday. It is I, Father Doom. Landon Gus also is my name, and I am your RPG prophet. I am your dungeon daddy. I am the guy who's going to get you excited about RPGs, be it Daggerheart, Morkborg, Blades in the Dark, or Dungeons and Dragons 5e. I do not give a rip what you play. All I care about is that you have fun doing it. So that's why we hop on these streams, we brainstorm ideas, we talk through adventures, we talk in the live chat. If you're watching the VOD squad, much love to y'all for tuning in and watching it after the fact. But to everybody who's hanging out with me in chat today, much appreciated. We are gathered here today to brainstorm some mad mages and some arcane minions. That is what I want to do. That's what I'm excited about because that's what we're doing today, but it also transitions into our announcements real quick. This month in June, for the patrons of the church, which you can become a patron for $3 a month, got that link down in the description, we are releasing the Mage's Dungeon zine. And that is going to have like 12 or so random tables with all sorts of things to help you prep a dungeon full of crazed mad mages with magical traps, magical treasures, dungeon themes to help you just kind of make something up in the moment if you need to run a one-shot or something like that. So far, we've got 1d6 wizard quests. We've got some dark consequences. If your torch goes out in a wizard's dungeon, what might happen to you? We've got 10 mage dungeons ideas. The art for this one is some of my favorite art. So freaking cool. And then we also had, just recently we dropped the Arcane Chambers, 1d10 magical rooms to go into a mage's dungeon, or honestly, any dungeon that you might need. And then today, we're going to brainstorm some actual mad mages, as well as some minions that might work for them. So that's going to be exciting. We're going to jump to that here in just a moment. But other announcements that we need to get through real quick. You already know what I'm about to say. I know you do. The Wretched Tropics, right? Coming to Kickstarter next month. July 5th, I believe, is when it goes live. And look at that. 13 followers. We're going viral, folks. The Church of Doom is officially viral. We're the biggest RPG Kickstarter in history. I can't wait to launch it. But for real, like to all 13 of you who are following that, and I'm sure that includes my mom, thank you. I think it's cool. It's exciting. It's encouraging. It means a lot. If you don't know what the Wretched Tropics is, that's crazy. It means you probably are tuning into this for the first time ever. But it is a zine that we released on the Patreon last month. It's a micro setting. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see what I'm doing here. It has got lore about the Wretched Tropics themselves, which are a sort of noxious, sulfuric, mist-filled jungle that an ancient black dragon rules over. His name is Facepalker. Awesome name. It's my most proud thing I've ever come up with, I think, for D&D is the name Facepalker. We got a cool hex crawl map. We got a summary of all of the hexes. And then each region on that map has its own little write-up with lore about the setting or that region, the creatures that live there, the dangers your players might face, the treasures they can find. And there is artwork done by me for all of them. And it comes with a black ribbon spine bookmark made by hand. So you can get that on Kickstarter. Go follow the project so you can get an early backer discount when it goes live. And if you are not following the Patreon, you can do so for free and tune in and get kind of my morning ritual hobby blog post. The most recent one included the VOD for yesterday's stream where we talked about D&D's new free adventure, Goblin Trouble. Also showed off kind of a cool exercise I was doing to help me with my campaign prep. I sort of have been living... I'm sure a lot of us have done this or do this actively. It's like the next session is your most important prep, right? I have been following that advice for a long time. I still think it's great advice, but what I've been starting to feel or kind of think about a lot is like, man, I feel like I'm so focused on the next session that my overarching plots or my narratives aren't really progressing much or as quickly as I would like them to. I'm so focused on making one cool session that I'm not thinking ahead of like, well, what are we trying to get to? So I did a little exercise the other day where I just sat down, I call it campaign divinations, and I tried to think ahead, what will the next 4 sessions look like in each of my campaigns? Now, the goal of this was not to railroad my players into a particular course of action. This was sort of taking into account, okay, what did the players know kind of going into the campaign? What's the theme? And what are they currently doing right now? And what do I need to be thinking about? What should I be getting ready to prep? What should be on my mind so that when we go into the next session, we actually make some real progress towards their goals. And that was just a really simple, fun exercise. Well, it was fun, it was simple, but it was a little bit harder than I thought it would be. And that's something I kind of note in this blog post. I had some 4 little takeaways from it. Go follow the Patreon if you want to read those. But one of the big ones was, dang, it was actually a little harder than I thought it would be to get like that 3rd or 4th session kind of pictured in my mind. which told me I'm not spending enough time thinking about the future. I'm not thinking about where do I want my campaigns to go. I mean, that was sort of the theory I had going into it, and it just confirmed it. But that was a fun exercise I did, and then I showed off a little bit of my session prep. But if you're one of my players, get the heck out of here, man. Don't be looking at my prep. Don't be cheating. Don't be peeking. But yeah, those are the announcements I've got for you all today. Pretty quick little one for y'all. So why don't we jump into some brainstorming? Let's come up with some mad mages, yeah? I'm just in the mood to brainstorm today. I've got no sermon. I've got nothing to really present to you all. I just want to do some cool brainstorming. So we're going to start with mad mages, and then we will go into arcane minions. But I've already got our list prepped. I know, that's a first for me, right? I'm actually ready to go. Let's get some keywords in the chat. What are we thinking? And while you guys are sort of brainstorming and starting to drop those, who's hanging out with us? We got Sam Watson. What's up, Sam? We got Colin Lee. Howdy, howdy. Colin is one of our most loyal. He's always in attendance. Always first in the pews. Doman, good morning. Good to see you. Good to see you. Colin Lee said, never got the chance to tell you my PR in the previous video that was 30 minutes. Did a 4x4. Oh yeah. You told us you were working out. You went to or you were coming back from the gym. Personal record. Did a 4x4 back squat, 345 pounds at the end, and did an 88-pound Turkish. Good Lord, Turkish get it. Let's hear it for Colin, folks. Here, I'm dropping you some in the chat. There you go. That's awesome, dude. Sam Watson asking a clarifying question. Are mages arcane casters? Yeah, mage, wizard, sorcerer. Honestly, I'm not like too worried about what specifically are they. They could be a warlock. They could be just anybody who's doing casting, except obviously not maybe like a cleric, right? We're not looking for divine priests and prophets and things. We're looking for sort of that wizard sort of vibe. I'll drop my own in here too to sort of kick us off while we're thinking. What would be cool? What would be a fun theme for a caster? Could do, I don't know, a dinosaur is jumping into my mind, but that's probably because I'm running the Wretched Tropics campaign. Oh, I missed an announcement. I have a new player joining our Wednesday campaign, the Martyrs of the Wretched Tropics, which is taking place in that campaign setting, which means we've got 5 out of 6 seats filled. So there's one last one. If you want to join one of my campaigns, you should join that one. It's a good time. Anyways, themes for an arcane wizard. Themes for an arcane... Ooh, what about torture? And we are doing mad mages, right? These are supposed to be like evil people or crazed wizards, things that your party would sort of need to fight. A wizard who uses magic to torture people could be kind of interesting to think up and come up with a cool villain or an NPC idea. What else could we do? And of course, like experiments, but that's a pretty broad one. Maybe what type of experiments? And then you start maybe like, oh, transmutation. They're turning themselves into other things, but that feels still a little too broad. Something about bats is kind of jumping to my mind. Maybe vampire sort of a theme for, a vampire wizard. That could be kind of cool. But not like Strahd, who is a vampire, but he can also do some casting, like a legit wizard who has the big pointy hat and the robes and the staff, but also is a vampire. I think that could be cool. It's Morbin time, right? Other ideas. What do we got? What's chat thinking? Colin, Doman, Sam, you guys got any ideas? I'm thinking, what's one more we could do for a mad mage? Maybe something Mr. Freeze vibes, where not necessarily ice, but a wizard who like lost a loved one, lost love. Maybe that's our keyword. That could be cool. Torture, bats, lost love. We definitely need some more. What could we do? Oh, I forgot too. Nice. Sam's dropping one here. They see arcane geometry patterns in biological systems and take advantage of that to torture. Ooh, okay, well, cool idea. We're not jumping into the descriptions yet. Let's get our keywords down, and then we'll go from there. Kajitan, that's a cool name. Vampire Wizard, are you making Strahd? Vampire Wizard. Like I said, I want him to be a straight-up wizard, not just a vampire who can cast spells like Strahd. Although Strahd is awesome. I like this one from Moosey. Tattoo. Tattoos is a cool one for a mad mage, covered in like, maybe they've covered their body in crazy occult heretical tattoos or something. We'll commit to an idea later. So torture, bats, lost love, tattoo. What other ones? What's been done and what hasn't? What's something fresh? Oh, we could do... Oh, what about clay? I just saw like some clay over in my little craft area. So maybe like a clay golem wizard or something like that could be cool. What else is in the room that sort of inspires me? I'm seeing candles, but I already actually shared an idea for a cool candle wizard character in a video not too long ago. Snails? Is that anything? Snails or slugs? Things with big shells could be interesting. What else? Moosey, Casualton, you guys got more ideas? Colin, what you guys thinking? Crystal. There's one from Sam. We could do crystal. 3 more. I'd love to get this at least to a D10 and then cut down if I need to. Better to have more ideas than less. What about Revenant? I was going to say undead, but could we just do a Revenant wizard? That'd be cool. That'd be sweet. I don't want to just do a necromancer, but a wizard who's gone crazy because they were like murdered and they've come back from the dead to use their magics to avenge their death. That could be fun. Oh man, 2 more. 2 more. What could we do? What's cool in the room? What am I seeing? I'm seeing skulls. I'm seeing a rat mini that I painted. I'm seeing a shit ton of miniatures. What sort of stands out to me? Like oozes? Maybe something with an ooze could be cool. Or I've got this. Oh, this is a cool mini. Just check this guy out. This weird, like, big slug, snail, prophet looking dude. That's a fun one. I don't know if that's anything for a wizard idea. Ooh, we got one from Moosey who said hive, like a hive mind. We also had Sam dropped another one. Transplanted could be cool. Casualton said maybe a warforged wizard who wants to become a fully Ooh, I like robot. Robot, warforged, automaton, all those sort of in the same realm. I really like robot. Hive mind's interesting. Transplanted is also cool. Makes me think. My first idea is a wizard who has become stranded in this reality. So they're not like there's not organ transplants or anything like that, but they are a transplant from another realm. That could be cool. Anything I want to swap out? What's up, Samael? Welcome into the chat. Welcome to the sermon. We are just brainstorming ideas for a mad mage. So, torture, bats, lost love, tattoo. Oops, I misspelled that. Tattoo, clay, snails, crystal, revenant, robot, transplant. Do I want to put hive in there? Maybe we do like bug, like an insect. That could be fun. Torture, bats. You know what? I'm gonna swap. Well, no, because the vampire was a cool one. I want to do a vampire wizard. Tattoo, clay, snails, crystal, revenant, robot, transplant. I really like bug. Really like bug. What could I... Maybe I'm going to swap that for snails. We'll just say insect. We'll kind of go from there. Okay, sweet. We've got our keywords. Now these are what are going to give us that fuel, that ammunition in our head to actually come up with a cool idea. So who's got one? Actually, you know what? We won't even go in order. If you've got ideas for what one of these could be, put it in the chat. Put in like brackets the keyword you're sort of speaking to. If you've got an idea for insect, right? Do bracket insect, then give me your idea and we'll go from there. Hey, good day, Noble Knight. Good to see you in the chat. I'm going to maybe see if I can jump us off here with bats or the vampire. How do I do a wizard that isn't just Strahd? That's a vampire wizard. So when you think of a vampire, you think of they have to ask for permission to get inside. They drink blood. They can fly. They're very superstitious. Religious, holy symbols can hurt them. How could we use one of those to inspire a cool vampire idea? I think we could do a wizard that's like, you know, vampires can fly, but they also, like bats, hang from the ceiling. A wizard who always walks on ceilings could be kind of fun. Like, that's not much to go off of, but it's a fun character trait. I'll just start with that. Vampiric wizard who always walks on the ceilings and what? It's got to be something about the actual vampirism now. Like, where do they get their blood? Maybe I love it's sort of a trope. Maybe not in, like, fantasy, but, like, wizards or mad scientists and cloning. I just love that trope. It's very fun to work with. So a wizard who's cloning humans to sort of be their blood bag so they don't have to go kill other humans could be cool. And they're just using their magics to do the cloning. Is there a better way to do it? Maybe is using their magics to kidnap what about this? They're using their magic to kidnap powerful individuals with rich blood, powerful blood. Maybe, yeah, we'll call it powerful blood. To kidnap heroic individuals with powerful blood. So this mad vampiric wizard wants to drink the blood of heroes. That's their goal. It makes them more powerful. They can use the blood to perform. Ooh, I might even add this detail. Uses blood to perform occult rituals, occult magic rituals. So they can't just go get a bunch of commoners. That blood's not going to do anything for them. That's my idea. Oh, I'm seeing quite a few coming through. Awesome. All right, we'll start with Moosey. They had an idea for bats. Something similar to Man-Bat. Maybe using spells to locate their targets. Ooh, like an arcane echolocation sort of thing. That's kind of a cool idea. Sam had an idea. The caster leeches energy for their... Wait, so they Wait, what? Maybe, are you talking about... I don't know which one you're referencing, Sam. Maybe you're talking about bats? They, like, leech magical energies off of people to make their spells more powerful? Maybe. Moosey also had one for bats. Something similar... Oh, wait, I just read that. Sorry. Domans has an idea. Maybe a metal wizard called Iron Banshee or something. Is very territorial. Made enhanced armor that allows them to fly at high speeds. Uses invisible stalkers that chase you down or ambush you while they float. Don't forget, put them in brackets, because sometimes I'm like, I'm not sure which one you're referencing exactly. But a metal... I like the idea of, like, the Iron Banshee. That's kind of cool, Doman. I'm guessing, is that... Again, like, I don't know which one you're referencing. Is that Lost Love, maybe? Maybe. Could be that. Iron Banshee. How does that fit, like, a wizard theme, though? Like, Sonic magics is kind of cool. Like, big shrieking thunder waves and stuff like that. Deafen as a spell, like, I don't really know how that affects very many characters. If my character... I've never had a session where someone got deafened and they're like, oh my god, it's like, now I'm screwed. It's like, you can still see everything. It doesn't really impose disadvantage on much, so I don't really know what it does. Samael said, aren't mad and wizard synonyms? True. Let's see. Oh man. Trying to make sense of what y'all are referencing here. I'm gonna keep going with some ideas. Use the brackets. It'll help me a ton to kind of keep up with what your guys' ideas are. What can I do for... Which one do I want to do? I kind of really want to try insect. Insect's a cool one. I'm almost thinking like a... What are they called in D&D? The, like, ant people? I cannot remember what they're called. Oh my gosh, it starts with a T. I can't remember. But like a real, like a true bug person would be creepy as a wizard. What do they do with their magics? I mean, of course, if they're a crazed wizard, they want to turn other people into bugs. But, maybe they're... Oh, we could combine the idea of like an insect wizard with the idea that got shared by, I think it was someone, it was Moosey for a hive mind. Maybe they're using their magics to try and create a hive mind. That could be kind of interesting. Or what about an antfolk wizard? Whoa, why is that? That was weird. Why did it start bold and then not continue to be bold? Antfolk wizard who is part of a hive mind, whose tower... I'm imagining like each tower is like a big anthill, and all of them are connected. There's like portals at the bottom of all of these individual big mounds, and so all of the towers sort of create this like ant wizard cabal. That's sort of the idea I'm going with there. Antfolk wizard who's part of a hive mind, whose anthill tower is just one of hundreds built across the realm, connected by portals. Cool. Okay, I dig that. That's a fun one. And it just lends to this idea of, oh my god, like, what are they planning? What are they capable of doing? Here we go. Sam's dropping an idea. A clay Maybe the mage can make things out of clay and they become real. How could we make that? How do we push that idea? Because that's sort of like, I think if I saw Clay Wizard, I would kind of imagine that's already the start of what they can do. What if their whole tower is made of clay, and so they can always be transmuting it? They're always able to change the environment, lift people up onto platforms, divide a room in half, open up a pit or a quicksand sort of thing. They can create new weapons or guardians that can like pull golems out of the wall. That'd be really, really cool. So we'll say entire tower is built out of magical clay, which thanks for kind of jumping us off with that idea, Sam. Appreciate it. Which they can use to constantly change the environments, build tools, or summon allies. That'd be a tough fight. Environments. There we go. All right, so far we've got bats, clay, and insect. We've got quite a few still to go. Sam also dropped an idea for insect. Oh, it's Thrycreen. Thank you, Casheton. Appreciate it. Sam Wilson said maybe a wizard is a swarm of beetles after a failed spell. Oh, that's fun. What? Okay, how about this? A wizard, instead of it being an ant folk wizard, I'll sort of combine your idea. A wizard made out of ants. Isn't there a character like that in a Rick and Morty episode? No, I'm just kidding. I do not. I haven't watched Rick and Morty in so long, but I remember there's like a superhero episode, like spoofs the Avengers or something. There's like Ghost Train. He blows a train whistle and a big ghost train shows up. And is it just called 1,000 Ants? That might even be the name of the dude. Pedro said maybe. Ooh, he said look up the worm that walks. Okay, I'll look that up real quick. The worm that walks. What is this? Is this something I can show? Oh, yeah, this is a pretty common. I'll show you what Pedro's referencing. Pretty common, like the worm folk or the space worm dude or the what are they called? Oh my gosh, I'm having such a hard time like remembering names of things this morning. But yeah, I've seen characters like this. Very cool. Yeah, that could be something to sort of inspire the idea. Except it's ants instead of worms. Okay, back to Canva. Okay, who else has got ideas? We need to do Torture, Lost Love, Tattoo, Crystal, Revenant, Robot, and Transplanted. We still need to do all of those. Noble Knight. We've got ideas for Insect, but we'll see sort of what people are pitching. Maybe instead of Ant Folk, Noble Knight and I are on the same page. Instead of just an Ant Folk, it's a bunch of actual ants. Colin Lee said maybe for insect you could do a vulture bee theme where it uses a giant bee or beast body as its home or food, like Samson from the Bible with the lion skull with honey in it. I don't know the story of Samson to know what you're referencing, but you're saying like the wizard lives inside of something, like a parasite? It's kind of interesting. Oh, Torture, Lost Love, Tattoo, Crystal, Revenant, Robot, Transplanted. Let's move on to some other ideas. We've got insect and clay and bats, we're good. We got those. What could we do? When I first saw Transplanted, when that idea got dropped in chat, it immediately made me think of, a wizard who is stranded on this plane of existence, and they need to get back home, and they're sort of willing to do whatever it takes to get back home, but is that enough? Could we do something cooler? Maybe what about a wizard who was abandoned here? Or exiled? Ooh, exiled could be cool. Rather than kill them, almost the scene that's jumping to mind that's sort of inspiring this idea is I didn't even finish the new Doctor Strange movie. I thought it was so dumb. But, not to be a hater, but the Illuminati, it's revealed like Reed Richards and all them, they killed Doctor Strange because he was too dangerous. What if instead we sort of took that idea of, oh my god, we've got this really powerful wizard, but they haven't really done anything wrong. They're not evil. They're just dangerous. I guess this is more of a Planet Hulk reference, which I guess is sort of what inspired some of that story. Anyways, instead of killing this wizard who many people believe will cause the end of the world or will go crazy and become evil, they just strand them in another plane of existence, and maybe they even wipe part of their memory so that they don't know how to get home. And that's sort of what causes them to go crazy. Ooh, I like that. Okay. A powerful wizard whose cabal feared they would one day turn evil, so they wiped their mind and left them stranded in another plane of existence rather than kill them. And maybe this character has a they even though their mind has been wiped and they don't necessarily know where they from, they know in their heart that they're not supposed to be here. Ooh, that's kind of a cool way to describe it. They know they're not supposed to be here. That's like, ooh, that's kind of a terrifying phrase. Unsettling, right? I'm not supposed to be here. You're like, oh, where are you supposed to be? That's creepy. All right, what other ideas do we have? Hey, what's up, Hidden? Hey, Father, just got here. Care to catch us up on the premise here? Just general themes or some creative mages and stuff? Yeah, we're doing mad mages is what we're brainstorming. So we've got our keywords here. Maybe I should zoom out a little bit so people can, when they join us, they can see the title. I'm so fidgety with my computer. I'm almost zooming in and zooming out, moving up and down. It's on the ADHD. I gotta just stay still so everybody can see. Moosey's got an idea for tattoo. Uses the body as a spell book. Writes spells, maybe uses art to represent the spells. Yeah, that's a cool start. How do we make this person mad? What makes them evil, though, Moosey? Come back with an addition to that idea of what drove them crazy. Because using their body as a spell book is a cool idea, but I feel like we could push it a little bit further. Kajitin had an idea for Crystal, an amethyst dragon who thinks the humanoids alone are incapable of defending against the far realm and wants to subjugate the world to protect it. Ooh. Oh, what I really like there is that you're pitching an amethyst dragon. I hope I'm saying that right. I would not have even thought to have done a dragon wizard. I always am human-centric. So much of my stories revolve around humans. But I like that idea of a wizard who almost sort of Ultron vibes is like, in order to protect people, we need to build a suit of armor around the world. But instead, it's like we need to encase the world in gemstone. Is that something? And maybe like the area around their tower or their wizard's lair is like jutting out giant crystals that are beginning to expand. I think that's a cool enough idea. For now I'm just going to say gemstone dragon wizard who fears the world is fragile and delicate, so they must encase it in crystal to protect it. And then we'll add crystals are spreading from their tower / lair. Cool idea. Dig it. Hold on. Let's bring that up a little bit just so we have more room. Okay. So the ones we still need to do: torture, lost love, tattoo. Although looking for an idea from Moosey to come back and flesh out that idea of tattoos on the body of their spells. Although I also would love to hear from somebody else, Moosey too, not to single you out, but like tattooed spells. Like, it's a trope in a fun way, but like that idea has been done before. I put my spells on my own body. And like you see it like cultists who cover themselves in like strange heretical texts and things like that. So is there a way we can do tattoo that is different? If that makes sense. Like the tattoos their spells? That's sort of the trope, or what else could the tattoo be that makes them interesting? But anyways, we need torture, lost love, tattoo, revenant, and robot. What do we got? Ooh, sweet. Noble Knight coming in with an idea for... Hidden had an idea for tattoo. A wizard that draws power from the names of all the ex-girlfriends that he drunkenly tattooed over the years. That's funny. Noble Knight for torture said, this monarch wizard has innocence. He is tied to... Wait, innocent people are... Oh, he's like holding innocence hostage? Is that sort of what you're saying, Noble Knight? Kind of cool. What's up, Kevin? Kevin and Hidden are both in my Wednesday game, so I'll be seeing them tonight for a fun session. It is the Feast of Wretched Pilgrims. The part now that if you guys watched, I think it was like the first, or no, this was a stream last week. I recapped how my level 3 party beat an Aboleth. Well, tonight the town has been secured. All the pilgrims are coming off of the boat, and the party's going to sort of be responsible for helping host the Feast of Wretched Pilgrims, and we'll see how that all goes. Might even be a level up involved tonight. We'll see. Anyways, Colin Lee had an idea for torture. Instead of being burned by a magnifying glass, they have a form of glowing light to make it a laser. Big James Bond laser torture device. Kind of cool. Yeah, what, maybe, like, why are they doing the torture, too? I'd be curious to know if anybody's got an idea for that. Pedro has an idea for Robot, a wizard who couldn't become a lich, so instead went another route and is trying to convince other wizards to become robots. Ooh. Oh, yeah, it's like a shortcut to immortality. And what if they've, like, been... Basically, this is funny. This is sort of very similar to my idea of Vecna, at least aboard the Ark, right? Because in my settings, I've got the Ark, the giant arcane repopulation craft, the huge moon-sized planet kind of cathedral thing that people are on. And then I've got the world of Urchin, which is the old world. It's what the gods abandoned when they performed the Great Pilgrimage and left with the Ark. And the gods are sort of just artificial intelligence. They're supercomputers, or they are beings, they're mortals who put their minds into supercomputers. And over the millennia, over the ages, those computers and the files have started to become corrupt. The various like copy pastes of these consciousness as they try to upgrade themselves or move into a different body has started to give them odd quirks and sort of drive them crazy. So maybe we could just take that idea and just boop, jump it in right here. So a wizard who copied, or maybe not copied, or transferred, I like that, who transferred their consciousness into a construct to achieve immortality without becoming a lich, but over the ages, maybe we'll say centuries, over the centuries, their mind has started to become corrupt as, I'll put this in quotes, as files. I'll have to think of kind of how I want to better describe that. As files go missing or are improperly improperly copied or duplicated. You know, when they do their system update, things can go wrong or things get left out. The trash file gets emptied and it's like, oh shit, there was some important stuff in there. That's sort of the meta way to sort of imagine that idea. It's a cool one. Thanks for dropping that. Who was that? That was Pedro, I think. Very cool. Sam Watson has an idea for Transplanted. Maybe they managed to put a fragment of themselves in a ring before they got wiped, and they think it is a sentient ring, but they can work out what happened. I don't know. Maybe I just misread your idea, but I was for a second I thought you were saying they put a copy of their mind in the ring, and they're like, now they don't realize it, but they're talking to themselves. Like the mind that is in the ring is the same mind that is up here, but neither necessarily know that because both minds got wiped. That's a fun idea. I don't know if that could work as a mad mage. Maybe. It's like so convoluted. It feels like a hard idea to sort of convey to players. Like, how would they discover that? Like, oh, the mind in their magical staff or in their ring is also their mind. And the reason they don't know each other is because they both got mind wiped. But the reason that there's a mind copy in the staff is because the wizard was afraid he was going to get banished, so he copied his own mind. Like, there's so many things you'd have to sort of teach your players. It's a really cool idea, but it might be hard to sort of convey. We've got an idea from Colin for tattoo. On his back, he's got a bunch of tattoos on his back that allow his muscles to have the same muscles of insects to give him speed. Oh, so he's got like... the way you describe that's funny. Like the same muscles as insects. I guess insects do have muscles, but they have like the exoskeleton. Muscle tattoos that make them stronger. Kind of a cool idea. You've also got like the, prison tattoos. That's sort of a trope we could work with. This mage. Oh, I kind of like that idea actually. A mage who spent the better part of their life in prison. And now they're covered in all of these tattoos. They're associated with a lot of thieves' guilds and things like that. But they've become a mage in time. But they keep these tattoos on them to sort of intimidate people, right? Like, the trope of a wizard, when you think of one, is gray beard, they've got glasses, they're sort of old. They're maybe like a little arrogant or aloof. Maybe not aloof, but like, regardless of how smart they are, they sort of are well-mannered, if that makes sense. But this sort of former prisoner wizard is like really into intimidation and sort of like doesn't take shit from anyone. I like that idea. Former inmate whose body is covered in tattoos. that associate them with some of the most feared thieves guilds in the realm. Escaped prison and became a wizard, but kept all of their tattoos as a fear tactic, or to intimidate people, to intimidate others. I really like that idea. That's a cool one. And thank you to Colin Lee for bouncing me into that. You set me up with the alley-oop. All right, what else we got? Kajetan has an idea for robot. A warforged wants to become a biological humanoid and needs to sacrifice people to achieve it. Do I like that more than this like corrupted mind? Because what I like about this one, of this wizard's mind in this robot that's sort of become corrupt, is the players can maybe go find the missing piece or the missing file. It's like that robot in Treasure Planet. He has like all the coils coming out of the back of the head, and he's missing the one piece, and when they find it and put it back in, he sort of goes back to his normal self. I kind of like that a little bit more, to be totally honest. But a wizard who is sacrificing people to become real is also still a cool idea, Kajetan. I dig it. What's up, Marc? Mr. Marky Mark, also in my Wednesday campaign, has an idea for Lost Love. There were a set of paired towers separated by universes or dimensions. The wizards fell in love with each other through communication through the veil, driven mad by seeing their love slain by heroes. Ooh. I like the idea of a wizard who's who's fallen in love with another wizard that they've never maybe even like met in person. It's like a dude who falls in love with like the e-girl streamer. Like, oh my god, I love you so much. But they never actually interact with them. That's too much of a joke for me to actually use as the idea, but that's what that made me think of. A wizard whose love they saw killed by heroes. And they've seen it from like across dimensions. I dig it. I'm wondering what I could do to sort of twist it or give it a little of my own spin. Maybe like the wizard. Maybe that their love exists in all the timelines, right? We could get into some time shenanigans. They had a love who was killed by adventurers, if we want to go that route. And now they're sort of going out across all the different timelines in search of one where their love isn't killed by adventurers. But what? But if that's the case, then it almost needs to be like it's like a canon event that this person is killed by adventurers. Maybe because is it because the adventurers were evil, or was this love of theirs evil? I'm going to maybe come back to it. I'll see if anything pops in my mind, but I'm going to get caught up. I'm a little behind on other people's ideas here. What else we got? Here we go. Sam Watson. Oh, and if you're new, if you've like just joined us here, if you've got ideas, we're looking for Torture, Lost Love, and Revenant is sort of the last three we're working on. Put it in brackets at the start so I can kind of pick you out of the lineup here and see who's got ideas. But let's see. What do we got? Also, Clay's Crossing, good to see you in the chat. I saw also Benji Standfast popped in, which is cool. Good to see you here. Torture. What are we? Torture, Revenant, and Lost Love. Is that what we're working on? Torture. Oh, here's one from Noble Knight for Torture. Oh, and Sam Watson. So I'll start with Sam. He said maybe a mage who is tortured to madness and now needs to feel pain to cast their spells. Or Noble Knight said, Demon Wizard Monarch has a cauldron of souls, tortures for power, and if he is ever harmed, the damage transfers to the innocent people around him. That is a fun one of, if I am hurt, you will be hurt too. I would almost have it be like, maybe, I guess the innocence is cool, but you could also just have it be that anyone within maybe like 15 feet or close range of this wizard, if the wizard takes physical harm or suffers pain, everyone around them within 15 feet also will suffer. That's a cool one for Torture. But But that's sort of like just like a mechanical feature of this wizard. I feel like it's missing like what is the whole vibe of this wizard? What's their whole shtick? What's their deal? Maybe they believe do they believe torture is necessary for something? Or they want to use they want to use torture to create more powerful magics? Ooh, maybe that's a cool idea. We could even take something out of Deadpool. In the first Deadpool, what's this guy's Francis? I think is the bad guy's name. He's like bringing people's mutant powers out by torturing them, and so maybe that's what this wizard is doing. Um, they're they're discovering sorcerers to brainwash as their minions by capturing and torturing them. And then a fun mechanical feature is any pain the wizard suffers is felt by any within 15 feet of them, so that I don't forget that cool mechanical feature. Okay, sweet. We've got torture, we got bat. So all we need now is lost love and revenant. So who's got ideas for those? Lost love and revenant is what we're working on. Ooh, Benji had an idea though for torture. I want to see what he thought up. A blind wizard self-mutilated after delving too deep into arcane deep library sort of stuff of pickled preserved eyes floating in crystal jars. Each eye was removed from a mage and retains visions they saw. Ooh, they're collecting wizards' eyes. That's creepy. Yeah, they plucked their own eyes out because they went crazy when they read something they shouldn't have, and now they're taking other wizards' eyes to plop into their own head. Oh, that's cool. And I know at least in the Mad Mage like D&D character, like the Mad Mage has like a cloak of eyeballs, I think. So that's sort of a reference to that. And maybe this wizard has like a bunch of they've added sockets, like eye sockets all over their body, and they can like pop these eyeballs into their body. So they don't have a cloak of eyes, like they are the thing of eyeballs. You know what? I'm gonna replace Revenant with that idea, Benji, because it's just so cool. All right, so eyeballs. Plucked their own eyes out after reading an occult text. Maybe when they were young. They were just an acolyte. And now collect other wizards' eyes to use as their own. Have empty sockets all over their body. Ooh, creepy. Benji, cool idea. And also, I don't know if anybody knows, Benji Standfast, who's in the chat with us, is also a creator. He's got his own awesome stuff that he shares. So, Benji, I don't know if you can maybe drop a link in the chat to your Instagram or something, but I would love for folks to see the stuff you do because it's really cool. Okay, last one. Last one now is Lost Love. That's what we're working on. Lost Love from Moosey says maybe the canon event could be that the love is doomed to fail because of the time manipulation, like a punishment for manipulating. So the wizard messed with time, and now their love is doomed to die because. Ooh, yes. Okay, you gave me an idea. I want to read the other people's ideas too, just because I appreciate their effort. But I'm thinking, what if the curse now is every realm they go to, or every alternate timeline they go to, where they can be reunited with this love, essentially a timer starts. Like they only have X amount of days or weeks or months with this person before they inevitably die. It's almost like Final Destination meets time shenanigans sort of a deal. So they're constantly they're like watching this person die over and over and over and over again, but they love them so much they're willing to keep finding them and go through that pain just to cherish a few moments with them. Really cool concept for a villain. I have no idea how you would use it in a campaign, but it's cool. It's really, really cool. But let's see what else was getting dropped in here. Marc had an idea for Lost Love too. He said one of the wizards was causing damage to the world in an attempt to breach the veil to be with their love without telling the other. Now the other wizard is searching for a way to save them. Yeah, that idea could sort of get worked into this too. Like the part of their curse or their punishment, going with what Marc said, is like the timer only starts when they arrive. Like if they never went to this new timeline or this other dimension, their love could live forever. Or not forever, but like wouldn't necessarily die as soon as they did. So it's actually the wizard who's getting them killed every time they go find them. And they just like, maybe they know this, but they can't accept it. They're like, no, it's not me. I'm trying to save them. And it's the gods are killing them, or it's these fucking heroes keep killing them. It's everything else but me. And if they just accepted this fate that they sort of brought upon themselves, and they just let this person go, then they would stop dying. Oh, that's so cool. A wizard whose love will die in any timeline they trespass into in order to be with them. A wizard whose love will die in any timeline they trespass into in order to be with them. A punishment for their manipulation of their own timeline, or of their own dimension's timeline. That is so sick. That is an awesome idea. Oh no, Doman's saying we've got Kakashi as a wizard. Wait, who's Kakashi? I'm sure so many of these ideas are an anime character. Do you know how many times I get that comment on a post if it's on like an Instagram, especially on Instagram? I feel like that's where I get it the most. Like, this is just this thing from that show, or this is just this thing from that book. I'm like, oh my god, I don't care. I don't care if it's the same. It's different enough because it's in the context of D&D, right? Dang, those 10 ideas filled the page up. I'll definitely have to trim those down or cut one or two out if we're going to make them all fit. But boom, there we go. A D10 list of mad mages. Very nice. What do you say we move on? We still feeling up to this? I've got time. Let's do some arcane minions. So this is, I guess I'll put this here real quick. I'll have to change this later, but we're brainstorming the strange, horrifying, and evil servants of a mad mage. That's what we're brainstorming here. So let's get those keywords. Shout them out. We're moving on. We're on to our minions. Our minions. What are some good keywords for minions? Things that are jumping to mind. Brains, candles, librarians. Maybe like not a knight, but something like martial themed. Something like maybe assassins? I don't know if that's necessarily a minion though. Because I guess when I think of a minion, it's like not only my idea with the assassins was maybe this wizard always has one or two assassins hiding in the shadows, but that's like a guard. That's not necessarily a minion, because a minion can help in battle, but also like does a lot of the work for the person, right? They go fetch the ingredients, they stir the cauldron, they go imprison people for them. So let's see what we got. We're getting tons coming through. Hell yeah, I love to see an active chat. We got fish, caged. That's sort of an interesting one. I'll put it down and see what we can do with it. Golems. We've got iron, guardians, apprentice, some sort of shambling mound keyword. We've got stalker. Ooh, arcane minion. Stalker is an interesting one. I wonder what we could do with that. Let's go through the list again. Fish. I really like fish. That's a fun one. Caged. Caged? Okay. Oh, no, I already put it on the list. Okay, caged. Golems. Maybe we could put golem on there. I want like some weird, funky words. Super bizarre things. Like for example, like Noble Knight kind of threw out. What about apprentice? But I'm like, apprentice is just like a synonym for minion. So it doesn't really give me like anything weird to sink my claws into and really make into my own idea. Mirror, that's an interesting one. Hounds, birds, undead, beautiful. Ooh, that's a good one hidden. Beautiful. I like that. I like hounds. That's cool. Children. Ooh. Ooh, that's creepy. Children. Okay. Fish, cage, stalker, golem, beautiful hounds, children. Need to get some of my own on here too. Let me think for a sec. What would make for a good wizard's minion? Of course, you can do clones. Like I said, I love clones. It's a fun trope. But no, I feel like knights could be cool. Assassins is a little bit harder because assassins have such a specific purpose. They kill things. Whereas a knight, like, yes, they can defend this wizard, but a knight can also be sent out on quests to go do things. And just the idea of a wizard who is like flanked by two knights, that's cool. That's fun. I haven't really seen that, to be totally honest, in like artworks or things. Like wizards are always guarded by something, but very rarely is it a knight. So I'm gonna stick with that. Okay, we got a bunch coming in. We got more. We got mushrooms. Sam Watson has an interesting one. Non-Euclidean, so like shapes that don't make sense. They're not physically possible. Box, another one for mushroom. Unwilling, faceless, sharp. Freudian. I'm not sure what that is. Isn't that like a therapist thing? Statues that aren't audible to others, but he talks to the drone. Oh, giant. I like that, Noble Knight. That's a good one. One more. Do I want to do mushroom? Insects mimicking children. Ooh, creepy, King Master Lord. That's messed up. One more. One more. Homunculus claws. Homunculus could work. Statues could work too. What about Hmm. I'm almost thinking like, what about imps? Like that's very cliche. But what's fun is we can find a way to make it not cliche. Like, what's different about these imps than just like your classic scheming little imp that's always like curled its scorpion tail around the wizard's arm or something? That's what my gut's telling me. But Hidden also has rats or the Pied Piper scenario. Doman throws out crime. What about just something bizarre? Noble Knight's sort of actually shifting in a similar direction. He said cats. What about pigs? Just like a weird animal. Like, I don't know why I like pigs, but it's just fun. Kind of like also it makes me think of like a big, kind of scratchy chinned wizard. It's not the frail old man with the long beard. It's like a big dude, really slobbery. He's got like his alchemical ingredients he just like wipes off on his robes. He's filthy and disgusting, always eating weird things, almost like Jabba the Hutt, kind of just like grabbing handfuls of imps and just like munching them down. Oh, I like that idea a lot. Okay, there we go. Boom. Oh, Moosey threw out farm, so sort of in the realm of pigs. Yeah, that's cool. All right, we've got our keywords, which means it's time. Doman has chainsaw. That's a great one too. All right, it's time though to start brainstorming these ideas. And if a few of these we just can't kind of get a cool idea, we'll come back and maybe steal some of these others that got shared. But drop your bracket with the keyword you're referencing and give me the idea. Fish, cage, stalker, golem, beautiful, hounds, children, knights, giant, pigs. I'm probably going to run with pig just because of the one I described I really liked. A massive slob of a wizard. Whose robes are filthy, chin is scratchy with stubble, and who's oh wait, no, I'm describing the wizard. We're supposed to be describing the minions. What am I doing? So if he is giant and massive, then his minions would be, what about just like now I'm imagining his tower is like a pig pen, so all of the acolytes are. Okay, we'll just change the wording just a little bit to make it less about the specific wizard. Massive, slobbish, not a word. Oh, it's just missing a B. Slobbish acolytes whose robes are filthy, chins are scratchy with stubble, and who keep the tower filthy at all times. That's their responsibility. Just make this play. Just keep it gross. Keep it nasty. Not nurgly nasty though, where there's like weird plague things growing out of the wall. Just like almost literally just dirty, just muddy. There's food all over the place. It stinks. That seems fun. Just flavor wise, it's a cool one. All right, hell yeah. Let's see what people are thinking. Noble Knight says for fish, maybe sharks that have been enchanted to be able to swim through and breathe air. Ooh, flying sharks like a Sharknado. Or Doman said fish could be the guy from Mega Man. Oh, hilarious. That's so good. What a reference. I love... Or Mega Mind. Yeah, not Mega Man. Mega Mind. Oh, that's hilarious. And it's sort of a reference to the Xanathar, who has his goldfish in the big bowl. Yeah, I love it. I love it. That's a great one. Who was that from? Doman? Oh, hilarious. Um, so it's like automaton constructs with fishbowl heads that the wizard places their favorite pet fish in after awakening them. Is that the word for phrase? After awakening them. And we'll say that they can pilot the suits. Oh, hilarious. What a reference. I mean, we literally just stole the idea from Megamind, but still, it's so good. Sam has an idea for Caged. The knights are bound to wizard service by arcane means. Deploys them by opening a locket. The locket's an interesting idea. That's the word that jumps out to me the most there. But I feel maybe push that idea a little bit further, Sam. What? Give it a weird spin. Are they like when I first saw the keyword caged? I thought, what if their minions are literally just people, like other wizards or other acolytes who are literally trapped in floating cages, and if they have no choice but to like the cages follow the wizard and like float above the tables. And if the people in the cages don't kind of lean out to grab up supplies or things, the cage will like shock them or something like that. I don't know. That was just where my mind went with it. So see if you can push it a little bit further. Colin Lee says, for children, what about living lavishly because of the help of the wizard? And they don't want to be orphans? So the wizard's like spoiling them, like giving them this like really lavish, beautiful life? Maybe. Samael talking about the pig, maybe like a humanoid pig who functions who functions both as a minion and emergency food. He can butcher the pig. That's fun. Moosey kind of adding on, I think, to the pig idea I had. Maybe they eat everything to clean up the mess the wizard schemes make. Maybe something like Circe from the Odyssey, and will turn innocents to pigs. Ooh, yeah, but I don't like the idea that they clean. I like the idea that they make things messy intentionally. What's up, Mr. Bratty? Just joined. So the bracket word describes the wizard. No, not the wizard, right? We're looking at minions. The minions of the wizard. This is from Colon for Knights. The heroes that came here are trapped in their armor and serve unwillingly. Ooh, that's kind of cool. That reminds me of, not Nope, Get Out. That Jordan Peele movie where they're like your own like psyche is like trapped in the back of your mind and you're sort of watching your body be piloted by someone else. That's kind of cool. Your body is the cage. How do we make it not just Nope? I was fine copying Megamind, but I would like to not copy everything from other stuff. Oh, Mark says the minions are the ones that are making the wizard mad. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, they only went crazy because of their minions. That's good. Caged in your own body. Mechanically, what I'm imagining is like the wizard, they're basically like maintaining concentration on these minions, and if you hit the wizard, maybe they have to like make a concentration check, and if they fail, they lose control of one of their minions. That's a cool maybe mechanic for a fight, but it doesn't tell us much about the minions. And also that's so focused on the wizard, not the minions themselves. Caged minions. Stalker. Ooh, stalker minions. So it's like I have an idea for that. The wizard doesn't want minions or acolytes or students hanging around their tower, but these 1d12 humanoids refuse to leave and are willing to die in their attempts to aid this glorious wizard. So we literally mean stalkers. This mage is like, get these people out of here. And that sort of is like playing off of Marc's idea of the minions are the ones driving them crazy. They're like, who are these people? Who are you people? And like maybe they even like are sneaking into the wizard's tower at night and like tidying things up, or they're bringing them like when the wizard leaves their tower in the morning, they find a person tied up and like left at their door as like their new something to experiment with, or like odd components. They're like gathering things up from the wilderness and bringing them in a basket and placing them at the wizard's tower, and he's getting freaked out by this. That's fun. Yeah, I might even add that detail that it's freaking the wizard out. Cool. Okay. So far, fish done, stalker done, pigs done. We need caged, golem, beautiful, hounds, children, knights, and giant. What do we got? Benji said maybe perhaps servitor vibe, sort of like from 40k. These mindless things with arcane collars. Antic magic once used to soak up any spells. Magic that went wrong. Oh, like if the wizard. Oh, that's interesting. They're disposable. So there's like these minions that have like weird arcane collars or like circuit things built into their head, and the wizard can sacrifice them to counterspell, like, or they're essentially like bonus spell slots. That's a cool idea for Kate. Yeah, okay. So we'll say husks of humanoids with arcane devices built into their brains that the wizard can sacrifice to what? To counterspell, to pass a save, to enhance the power or enhance the level of a spell, etc. So they have these drone-like minions who just kind of walk around. Like, if you know 40k, you know what a servitor is, but they're sort of like a zombie in a way. They don't eat people, but they're just mindless. And they can, if the party doesn't take care of the minions first, they make the wizard X times more powerful. And they have like as many counter spells as they need because they can just keep using they can like pull the minion in front of them or kind of redirect the spell into the minion, or the collar, the device that's sort of built into them causes the spell to target them first. That's a great idea, Benji. Cool idea. Noble Knight dropping one for Giant. Maybe the wizard brews a potent arcane drug that the giants are addicted to. If not given the drug regularly, the giants will revolt. Ooh. Yeah, or kind of spinning that idea. What if the thing that this wizard brewed, it wasn't that giants are addicted to it. It's that this mixture makes you giant, and people are addicted to that. Oh, yeah. There we go. That's cool. So maybe we'll say like 1d12 weak and frail humanoids who are addicted to the wizard's enlarging potions, which turn them into giants, or at least that's what people believe. So people think that this wizard has like 6 giants, like hill giants that are serving them, but it's not even giants. It's like just people from the towns or the villages who are so weak, so frail, so desperate for any semblance of power that the wizard is basically their drug dealer, sort of taking advantage of them. And what would be cool and tragic is if eventually the players or the characters recognize one of these giants as like, wait, isn't that? It's just borrowing a name from the D&D adventure we reviewed yesterday. Isn't that Dilly? That's Dilly. What happened to Dilly? He's mad. Oh my God, he's throwing a tree at us. Like, that could be cool. Okay, yeah, I don't even think I need to expand on the idea much more than that. That's a great one. Thanks for the alley-oop, Noble Knight. Very cool. Kajitin has an idea for beautiful, a dryad who charms people who want to harm the wizard. Ooh, a dryad. Yeah, maybe the wizard allows their tower to be grown over, or the wizard has built their tower like a dryad's tree is like at the top of it or somewhere inside, and the wizard is sort of harvesting magical berries and herbs from the tree. In exchange, the dryad gets what? What does the dryad get? Because the whole idea is the dryad, not the wizard itself. But I like this idea of a dryad being the minion. That is cool. Kajitin, can you expand on that idea a little bit more? Give me something weird. Make it wacky. Samael said for the stalker idea, it's a wizard with a toxic fandom. Hilarious. Caleb Maurer, welcome to the chat, by the way, Caleb. I don't know if I saw you earlier. Has an idea for the hounds. They're human servants that gradually gain more canine features as they climb the pack hierarchy. Ooh. That kind of actually reminds me of another cool set of minis I have. The they're man goats. Is that going to focus, or am I going to be the thing it focuses on? So if you look closely at the face, let me get that. Oh, how do I? Oh, I can't focus. But it has like a human-like face on a goat body. So like man hounds, maybe. How do they act as like minions, though? What do they? I mean, they could send them out as like hunting dogs. They're hunting hounds. They go sniff out magical ingredients and things like that. Could be kind of cool. I'm torn between like doing something with actual like dogs, like just going that direction with it, or is the fact that they're humans who are sort of acting dog-like, is that it almost kind of feels similar to the stalker vibes of like these like kind of crazed manic people who are serving the wizard and running out and fetching them things and collecting things. That feels really similar to this idea of manhounds who are running out and fetching things for them. So maybe we'll change hounds. Not sure. Hidden has one for beautiful, thinking either succubus or siren based, or some sort of contest of really ugly orcs and goblins that dress up to gain favor. Reality show vibe. Hidden's got. It's funny. Hidden is. You're surprising me with this idea, because as a role player in my Wednesday game, you're so serious in a good way, like not in a bad way at all. You're like very in character and take the world very seriously. So it's like, oh, it's funny to hear you throwing out these ideas that are like very kind of meta, not meta. They're like pop culture-y or something. I don't know. It's cracking me up. Moosey says maybe for Golem we could do the Golem is the wizard's tower, kind of similar to the clay wizard. Yeah. That's kind of what I was afraid of, though, when I took the keyword golem. It's like, it's just gonna be golems. Like, how do we make that different or weird? So I'm also not in love with the keyword golem. Doman has an idea, though, for golem. Let's see, a machine golem that was built to serve their creator, but now finds them unservable as they are too powerful. The golem stabs them in the back and brings in a weaker wizard to serve until the cycle repeats again and again. Oh, that's really interesting. The minion is the more powerful one, and when they grow tired, that's really cool. That's really cool. What a great twist on a golem. So how do I phrase this? I guess just the way you did, I suppose. Incredibly powerful construct that murders its own master when it grows tired of serving them and seeks out a new master to serve until the cycle inevitably repeats itself. Cool. That's really fun. Nice idea. Oh, Doman, hell yeah. Home run with that one. Noble Knight has an idea for knights. What about a fanatical servants from a town under the wizard's protection who don't know of the wizard's evil schemes and have been enchanted to be highly resistant to magic to face the wizard's foes? Kind of like the idea you're sort of pitching of like, yeah, commoners who believe the mage is like a god, and they're so fanatical in their service and worship of them, they're like knights that will serve them. That could be cool. Wasn't the direction I was sort of originally thinking. Okay, actually, I just had an idea. I'm going to sort of take your idea, Noble, of like this town that is so zealous in their worship of this place. What about a town who gives their children up? They have like almost Hunger Games style. Children are drawn, their names are drawn from a hat, and whichever name is drawn has to go serve as an acolyte for this wizard. Ooh, that's dark. That's super dark. A town who zealously... Do we want to do the worships the wizard? Is that they worship the wizard and they give their kids up willingly? Or is it that the wizard sort of demands new students? I like that actually more. A town who the wizard demands new students slash servants from. And so every year, a random 1d4 random children are delivered to the mage. Dark. That's a dark one. But that's what makes it cool. That's what makes your heroes real heroes for like saving these kids. Oh, and imagine if one of the players had a sibling that they learned had been sent off to be the apprentice. It's almost like boarding school vibes. It's not like if I were running this, I wouldn't want it to be the sort of thing where they're sent off and they're like experimented on or they're like sacrificed. That's like too it's just kind of boring. But if they were sent there and it was like boarding school, or they were like they were being students, they're being taught magic, it's like not necessarily a cruel environment, but it's one that's against their will. So I guess that is cruel. But do you know what I'm trying to say? It's not like the heroes show up, they're like, oh my god, these kids are being like tortured and abused. It's more of like, we just need to get them out of here because they shouldn't be here in the first place. Like this is just cruel as a practice is a little more interesting to me. Colin had some ideas for beautiful. A being that thinks the wizard's love interest is distasteful and tries to sneak ways to ruin their courtship. Gives fashion advice but doesn't give professional advice and makes hard to notice imperfections in the wizard's looks. So they're just this catty, bitchy individual who's always like throwing out like snide little remarks about them. That's fun. Colin says the man bear pig is real. Not good reference. Sam has one for beautiful. A succubus demon that is bound to the wizard's service because the wizard discovered its true name. The demon is working to discover the wizard's true name to be free. Something about succubus has me thinking like a partnership, a husband and wife, which then had me thinking Bride of Frankenstein. Is that something? The wizard, it's sort of also similar to like the lost love in the previous one, but the wizard's servants or their minions are their former partners who they sort of raise from the dead. I mean, now we're just getting into necromancy, and that's can be so boring sometimes. We talked about dryads. Succubuses are on the mind. What? I like this Frankenstein idea a lot, though. And this is just me personally, my GM style. Like, I don't like gimmicks. I just am not a fan of it. So like, ooh, they're like, it's like a dating show thing. Like all of their minions are competing to see who's the most beautiful. That's just too like goofy for me. But maybe like a cult of people who are so desperate to be beautiful, they serve this wizard for their like charming enchantment magics or to like change their face. Almost like what's that in the Witcher show, and I guess the games, there's like the sorceress lady who at the beginning of the show she's like kind of malformed, and it's the magics that like make her beautiful. Something like that, maybe? Like all of these people who have malformities or things that are wrong with them seek out this wizard desperate to be healed, and they have to serve them for, years at a time. They're sort of abused in the process. Maybe. I don't know. Noble Knight says, could the hounds just be werewolves? Yeah, they could be. But again, this is the Church of Doom, brother. We don't settle for werewolves. If they're werewolves, there's got to be something weird about it. What do you do to make that more interesting? Oh, am I spelling golem wrong? Is it supposed to be that? No, that's the golem from Lord of the Rings. Isn't that the right spelling of golem for like a construct? Golem? I think that's right. Ooh, Caleb. I'm already liking where this is starting. His idea for the hounds is maybe a ranger cult. Symbolically becoming more dog-like for the master. Ooh, a ranger and a wizard. That's really different. That's sort of, yeah, that's similar in the vein of like knights serving a wizard. You don't see that very often. Neither do you see rangers serving a wizard. Maybe they protect their tower in the forest because the wizard enchants their weapons or enchants their senses. Ooh, yeah, there we go. That's cool. A band of rangers who protect the wizard's tower and gather components for them in exchange for having their senses magically heightened. And this we could add to the detail that some of you've been pitched, like makes them appear more beast-like. Cool. Oh, that's awesome. I really like that one. All right, so what's left? Is it just beautiful? Beautiful and knights. But also, I'm open to totally different ideas if we're not loving knights. This is a one for beautiful from Sam. The wizard captured a vain, a vain, egotistical caster in a mirror and promises freedom if they serve them for a period of time. So, like the magic mirror from Snow White just flying at you in oh, interesting. I like that idea that the minions can't actually do anything. They're trapped in these mirrors. They're more like they're intellectual minions. When the mage needs an answer or has a question, they'll go speak with their minions who are trapped in mirrors. That is cool. Yeah, maybe we do. Oh, but why do they? What? So the wizard captures like beautiful, brilliant people so that they can use their knowledge and always like gaze upon their beauty. Ugh, creepy. Maybe what I'm finding myself thinking in my head is we're talking about beautiful. I'm like, oh, so many of these feel like just shallow or like like creepy weird. Like, oh, you're like capturing a bunch of beautiful people. Ugh. But like they are meant to be like mad mages, and they're not supposed to necessarily be the good guys here. So that's sort of the point, right? Kajetan has an idea for beautiful. Maybe a wizard magically combined a succubus and a dryad to create their most beautiful being. Ooh, a wizard obsessed with creating the most beautiful creature feels like it's in the similar vein of like the human centipede or that movie Tusk where he like turns a guy into a walrus, like weird body horror. Or maybe it's like a wizard who maybe their idea of beauty, they like see beautiful things. I'm imagining like a wizard sees the beauty in an insect and wants to sculpt that beauty into a person. Or they see something beautiful in chaos and they want to put that beauty into people. It's cool. I don't know why I don't love it though. Like you are imperfect, but I can make you perfect. I can make you the most beautiful thing that this realm has ever seen. But their idea of beauty is like horrifying and terrifying. But then how do people fall for it? Why would like who keeps coming to this tower and be like, yes, make me beautiful. Oh my god, what is that half walrus thing you made? Ah, like I guess I mean, but like the wizard is it's the rumor, right? People who want to be beautiful go seek out this wizard and then they're never seen again, but that's because everybody thinks, oh, they just became so beautiful, they're off in like some king's court. Oh, is there something there? Beauty, they want to make their own court. That feels like the start of something. Hmm. Doman says maybe for beautiful, the young servant who wants to be noticed by their master but is instead completely ignored, so they start modifying themselves and replacing parts into machine parts to be more appealing. Maybe. Maybe. I like that sort of bleeds into this idea of a court and all of the like petty rivalries that can happen in a noble court. Oh, we also needed knights. Knights and beautiful. We're missing both of those. And I just saw two ideas get dropped. Noble knights, and maybe for knights, it's a group of master combatant werewolves who served the wizard because he gave them enchanted armor that suppresses their curse. Or Colin Lee says maybe they work as huntsmen with the hounds in order to entertain the wizard with hunts for food and events. Yeah, I mean, we already have the hounds idea. I don't. So I don't know if we want the knights to be like almost the same thing. Samael, the walrus PTSD triggered. Yeah, that movie was freaky. Knights. How do we make the knights be similar or be minions and have them be different than the rangers? Maybe we do something off of Noble Knight's idea, like they have enchanted armor, but they can't take it off. If they ever take the armor off, the enchantment goes away. So they're sort of bound to serving the wizard. Well, could they just leave with the armor? What stops them from doing that, right? What stops them from just taking the armor and running? Maybe the wizard can. I guess is it fine if they could leave? Like, sure, you can run away, but no, there needs to be something that's sort of keeping them bound. I really like this idea of people trapped in their magical armor. So why do they stay around? Because I also like the idea of knights that I don't want them to be mindless, like enslaved minds sort of a vibe. Like they're charmed into working for the wizard. I think it's more interesting when, not all at the time, but it is very interesting when people like willingly are serving this person. So they're offered this suit of enchanted armor. If they ever take it off, the enchantment goes away. And they swore. Maybe they're just sworn by their oath. So they become an oath breaker if they ever flee. That's kind of a cool idea. Sure. Order of knights who've sworn an oath to protect the wizard using enchanted suits of armor that were gifted to them by the wizard. But the twist is if they ever take the armor off, they lose the enchantments. Does that work? Does that feel exciting? They're like basically at that point sort of fanatical knights. They take their oath is so their armor is all that they are, is sort of what I'm seeing too. It's kind of like Iron Man, like take the suit away, what are you? That sort of a vibe. But these people are like, I am nothing without my armor. Ooh, I might even add that sort of belief. I'll tack it on here at the end. I am nothing without my armor. Cool driving belief for these people. All right, there we go. Beautiful. We're almost done. Almost done. Lord Law said, am I crazy, or do Stalker and children clash with each other? Stalker, the wizard doesn't want minions or students having around their tower, but these 1d12 humans refused to leave. And then children was a town who's... Well, I mean, all of these ideas are disconnected. Like, they're not meant to build off of each other. So I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. They clash. Okay, beauty. We're the last one. Where were we at with beauty? And I don't know why this one is so tough for me. I'm being so indecisive. You guys are pitching tons of ideas. I'm like, maybe. What about an enchantress who, this is very tropey, but an enchantress who is spiteful against those who are more beautiful than her? So what if she takes them in as her students? She intentionally, almost in like a self-destructive kind of way, she finds people who are more beautiful than her and kind of brings them in as her students just so she can then make their lives miserable and malform them. Oh, that I like it. There we go. Enchantress. This is more of an idea for the wizard themselves. So when I publish this on the Patreon, I'll need to rewrite it so it's more about the minions. But enchantress who intentionally seeks out those who are more beautiful than themselves to be their students, just so they can disfigure them with experiments and curses. Yeah, I dig it. Oh, cool. All right, hell yeah, guys. Wow, what was that? Hour and a half, and we got 2d10 lists brainstormed. We got some Mad Mages, we got some Arcane Minions. These will be so these two lists, in addition to the Arcane Chambers, are going to be published this Sunday as part of the Sunday Homebrew. So if you are, I mean, one last plug here at the end. If you're not a member of the Patreon, you should go follow it, at least for free, because you'll at least kind of get to see the ideas published in the morning ritual blog posts. But if you're a tithe giving patron, $3 a month, then every Sunday you get all of the PDFs formatted, ready to be printed out. So they actually, here, hold on one sec, I'll show you. There you go. You'll get the actual like PDF printout that you can throw in your binder, and also if you're at some of the higher tiers like my martyrs and my what's the second tier up? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking of course right in the moment. But I also make a physical copy and ship it to my patrons at the $25 and the $50 level. I know those are like really high tier levels for a simple zine. I totally get that, but it's more about like, well, at those tiers, you also get to do like one-on-one creative confessionals is what I call them. It's like a one-on-one call with me. We talk through your campaign. We talk through whatever you want to brainstorm. So you get that in addition to a zine. But really, those tiers are for like the people who are like, they have the funds available and they really help me pay my bills. Those people at the higher tiers are truly a blessing for me. So if you want to get a physical copy of every month zine, that's sort of how you can do that too, at least on the Patreon. But I also plan on like selling physical copies just on my web store. I need to get those listed. It's probably try and do that this week. Well, actually next week. My brother's in town. He actually got into town last night. So I don't know why I'm telling you this. Anyways, guys, this was a ton of fun. Appreciate your guys' help. Last plea here. Go follow the Kickstarter, right? Don't forget, I had that linked. It's in the pinned chat. It's at the top of the description. That's sort of why I'm streaming as much as I am this month. I'm having a ton of fun doing it, but I'm trying to stream as close to every day as I can just to keep spreading the word, getting people to hear about this Kickstarter I've got coming up for the Wretched Tropics. So if you aren't following it, do me a favor, go follow that. But that's it for me today. This was a ton of fun. Thank you for your ideas, and we say these things in your unholy name.